So I'd like to invite up Neil Young. Thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan, for inviting me here.
And thank you so much for joining us.
I hope you'll stay up here with me because I don't know what I'm doing.
I got a funny feeling you do. So you are very much among friends here, and you were talking to me last night about really back in the 80s wanting to bring really everything that you had touched, everything you had done to the world, and you couldn't do it. But somehow that's starting to change. What's changing?
Well, originally my problem was the sound wasn't good enough, the digital sound wasn't good enough, and now with Blu-ray technology, we've been able to get the 192/24 sound, which is really cool. But the coolest thing about it, besides the sound, is the way you can navigate around in these discs. And this is my archive volume 1 that we're talking about today, of 5 volumes spanning maybe 45 or 50 years. So it's a chronological trip through my musical experience and what set it up in the beginning of my life and everything. It tells the story of my music in days. So it goes step by step. So what we needed was technology that would let us go through this chronological thing, sort of like a video game, so that you could drop in anywhere on the timeline and have a representation of it. And really, I think the Java-powered navigation system and the interactivity with the internet has made it possible for us to do things that a few years ago we never could have done, and things that would have never happened in the music industry to this day.
Are we going to get a demo?
We're going to give you a demo, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it's fake. Okay, so it's going to work. So I'd like to bring out my partner, Mr. L.A. Johnson from Shaky Pictures, who helped us create this. Oh, shall we crank it up, Larry?
Let's give it a run here.
All right. Well, here we are. Nice to see you today. Let's start it up. Oh, yeah. So that was me in 1963. That's like, I guess, a long time ago. And that's a file cabinet of my songs since 1963 up to 1972 or something.
So that's only 10 years in that file.
Yeah, 10 years. This is volume 1 of 5 volumes. So as you can see, you get around in the file cabinet by Larry. Can you help me with this?
Sure. We're in the photo side of this now. You can navigate through with the Java and go to see the pictures and have caption on, caption off, to the photographer. And here's Neil. What is this?
That's a record. That's a 45 RPM record. You probably may have seen one of these in a junk store.
Many of you may not know what that is, but that was in fact a recording vehicle.
My son's in the audience. He has never seen that.
That has very deep grooves. That's where the term deep groove came from, right there. And so, yeah, there's a record player. That's how I started. So when I started, I was making mostly instrumentals. So back in the beginning of this, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever instrumentals from before when I got my first recording contract. And this is my first record. And there's the file cabinet again. And now we're looking through for other things and trying to find something else. Other one.
We brought this song back this year.
Yeah. We did this on tour this year. This is like 45 years old or something. And the Sultan. And it was the B-side. That's a tape recorder. There's another one. These are my old friends. There's a tape recorder there. And look, I'm in a dressing room with a record player. And so this is all this is the background of the musical history. This is a cartridge. They sounded terrible. This is that's a good 15 IPS, and this is a CD. Now we took a giant dump at this point, and but now we've crawled up out of the blackness and out of the dirge to get to the Blu-ray disc level, where we're almost there with a fantastic 24:192 resolution, which is good enough and is what we're going to have for a while. So I've decided to dump all of this stuff on you now. And we have a great, navigation system to get around. And this is the beginning of disc 3. I think it's 1967 or something. And that's my old house in Topanga Canyon back there. And there's it back in the file cabinet. That hurts me sometimes. Okay, and let's check out Mr. Soul. That's a song that I did with the Buffalo Springfield.
Another day at work.
So, yeah, that's a track sheet or something, some kind of information off of one of the recording boxes for Mr. Soul, or something like that. What's this, Larry?
It's all the Java implementation. So once again, this is really where you get an example of how we're able to navigate through as the music's playing, which was Neil wanted to do. Like 10 years ago when he was designing this, he said, well, when you started thinking about actually making it, it was like, I want to do a simple thing. I want to play the music and I want to navigate through the archives. And Java allows us to do it now. So we've had to wait until now to actually let it come out for that very reason.
So I think in general, you're viewed, and I want to thank you for coming to join us today, as an individual who really stands on principle, who's got a perspective on the way the world ought to run and the way we ought to be respectful of that world. I think do you still have that?
That guy, I wouldn't buy a record from that guy.
But you wanted to do this back in the 80s.
I did. I really did, and I was surprised to learn when the DVD came out that you couldn't do it with the DVD. I thought it was all there, and I thought the quality would be good enough, and it wasn't really quite good enough. But then you couldn't even listen and watch. You couldn't go through the archival materials and listen to the high-res music at the same time, which is what I thought that most of my users would want to do. So again, we were defeated by the technology. So just recently, we've been able to, there's another one of those darn phonograph records.
Bigger.
Yeah, we've been able to bring this forward, and we've done, transferred all these original analog masters, so you can hear them in the best quality that's available today. And it's really quite an experience. It's very rewarding for me to be able to have done this.
But it's not static.
It's not what?
It's not static. It's not.
It's not finished. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we're never done. If we have something new that we find for the first archive volume of the 5 that are going to be there, which is what coming out now with 10 discs in it, there may be something we missed because people are always coming up with new things. So we can add more things because it's Java enabled. We can have you put it in your PS3. If it's like this one and nobody ripped it off last night like the other one that we had, then you can put it. You can put your new disc in there, or you put your disc in there for this, and the internet will tell you that there's new material available. And if you decide you want it, there it is. There's a push pin, and it's showing you where it is. There it is, and that's where your new material is that just got downloaded, and it's part of the deal now. It's sitting there in your player. And right now the PS3 is the best player for that. And those PS3s are available everywhere, which I think music lovers should take note. You don't have to wait for the Blu-ray players because they're already out there. There's probably a game player like PS3 in your house right now, and they're the best thing to use this on.
So your library is not going to be limited by the format. It's going to be limitless. The network is simply going to connect to these devices and make your entire body of work available.
The only limit, Jonathan, is the storage. How much storage will your device handle? And in the future, we know that that's going to keep growing and growing. And
exactly.
So we can keep adding if we locate new records or new pictures.
There it is.
What's that?
It's a long. Well, this is our archives analog version. You take that, Rich?
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So this part, the colored part here, that's what volume 1 is. This is me here. This is 1963 down here. And there's a little bit over here that we, don't have on this.
So I have a particularly favorite song, Rockin' the Free World. Where is that?
Yeah, well, Rockin' in the Free World, I think I could find it. Are you still, wait till you get down to the end there.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it, Neil.
Hold it now.
You're prolific.
Time marches on.
You've been a very busy man.
So, hopefully we're going to have 5 volumes. Maybe we'll have 4.
Here it is.
We could have 6. I might be a medical...
Right here.
That's Rockin' in the Free
Right here.
World.
I found it right here.
Right there.
More fun with Java when we get down here.
Excellent.
So that's it.
Great.
Very
That's
cool.
what we're doing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Java. Thank you, Sun. Appreciate the opportunity. We have, this is all ancient history up close, but we have one new thing we're working on that Java is empowering part of our website to make it possible for us to have the Link Volt dashboard. Link Volt is a Lincoln Continental that we're in the X Prize, Automotive X Prize, trying to demonstrate. The goal of this car is to demonstrate that it's possible to eliminate roadside refueling. And that's a big job to demonstrate. And as we go on the road, we're going to be able to watch on the internet from the car and read our gas coming in, whatever fuel we use coming in, read the emissions going out of the vehicle, how many kilowatts we're using, whether we plugged it in, whether power was coming out of the vehicle, going into the vehicle. All these things will be live on the net, and people can tabulate and decide whether our results are a hoax or just a bunch of rockers trying to have fun. So thank you, Java.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
Really appreciate it.